Hey everyone, so I already touched a little bit on this at the start of my first bridal beauty video, which was the kind of golden brown smoky eye, but I wanted to put this into a separate video so I don't have to go in depth into it at the start of every video. And this is just about preparing your skin for your wedding day. So a couple of little tips just for the run up to the wedding and then what to do on the actual morning. So of course, the more time you have before the wedding, so the more time you know that you're getting married, I suppose, the better it is for making or breaking habits. So when I say that, I just mean things like, you know, if you're a smoker, it's probably the best of time as any to give up, because, you know, the tobacco or the smoke and the chemicals and stuff like that in the smoke really does dull the skin down. Drinking water, it's another good time to maybe up your water intake if you don't already. One good thing that a dermatologist told me that really benefits the skin is to eat your water. If anyone is familiar with the Dr. Murad, whatever his name is, he bases his whole thing around that. He definitely says that eating your water is much more beneficial to the skin than drinking your water. The kind of idea behind that is, like, when you drink your water, it's good for the skin because it flushes out and cleanses out loads of the impurities and stuff like that in the skin. That's exactly what we want, that's perfect. But you're not really retaining the water because it's, you know, being flushed out along with the bad stuff, which is grand. Now, if you eat your water, and when I say that, I mean eating very water heavy foods. So like grapes or, you know, lettuce or cucumber or whatever, you know, any of those foods that have a really high water content. When you eat your water, it's not so laden that you're, you know, peeing it out every 5 minutes. You really get a chance for the skin to retain the water in their cells, in its cells. So that really is more beneficial to how your skin looks, in that it plumps out the skin because, like I said, the cells are really holding on to that water, which is what you want. So they're tips that I found that I think are really handy. Other things would be, if you're getting any beauty treatments, give yourself a good couple of weeks beforehand. And when I say that, I mean, like, if you're going in for like micro exfoliation or whatever, you know, those things you can get done in the beauty salon, like, you know, a bit of a mini peel or something like that. Give yourself at least 2 weeks just in case you have some kind of reaction to it. You don't want to have to suffer the day if you're having some like after effects from that, if you only got it in the like couple of days running up to the wedding. So avoid anything like that and make sure you give yourself a good couple of weeks break in between. Even facials can sometimes cause the skin to react, so give yourself a good week for a facial, but if it's anything a little bit heavier, give yourself at least 2 weeks. Don't try any brand new products. So what I mean by that is don't use anything that you've never used before that you're uncertain about that may cause a reaction. So use, I mean, if you have plenty of time, like if there's a couple of months beforehand, that's grand, but definitely in the week or two running up to it, stick to what you know and what you know works. Another thing you need to think of before the actual morning is any hair removal that you need to do. So if you need to take care of any little fuzz or any more noticeable hairs, say above the lip or on the chin or anything like that, make sure that you remove them from the skin, giving yourself at least a week, because, you know, a lot of people can suffer from rashes and stuff like that after hair removal, especially if it's not something you're used to. And then of course, when it comes to eyebrow shaping and stuff like that, you don't need to wait that long because there could be regrowth in the meantime. But I would give myself at least 2 or 3 days after getting your eyebrows done if you're not used to it. If you're like me and you're kind of used to doing it every day, that's fine. It's just more if it's a case of you haven't really done some of these stuff before. So there are just a few things to be aware of when it comes to prepping the skin in the run-up. Now on the actual morning of, again, don't use anything you haven't been used to or anything that's new or anything that you know, there could possibly be some kind of reaction to. Wash your face as you normally would every morning. Make sure you wash your face. Use something that's not too drying. If you like to use your, you know, something in the shower, go ahead and do that. I personally use like watery or milky kind of products. My favourite one at the moment is this Vichy Normaderm micellar solution for imperfection prone and sensitive skin. So this is alcohol free and paraben free and all that kind of stuff. It's very like the MAC new mineralized cleanser that's out at the moment as well. So this, I just think, I find it's brilliant. It removes everything, it takes away any excess oil, but it doesn't like overly dry my skin out or anything like that. So this is really good. Again, use something that's appropriate to your own skin type. Don't use anything that may be for combination oily skin if you're dry, and just talk to you know, your dermatologist if you're very dry or very oily on the run up, because that's something you probably need proper advice on, rather than just me telling you what I think might work. So definitely seek help for that. Now when I use those kind of cleansers, you don't have to remove that with water if you don't want, but I usually spritz myself or put some in water like this, which is the La Roche-Posay thermal water. I love thermal water. I go through it like no one's business. I usually spritz it on my face and you know, kind of damp it off with one of these wee guys, or else I'll spritz it onto one of these cotton pads and swipe off any excess cleanser that's left over. And then I'll usually always spritz myself with this again. So you can use your Max Fix Plus or any of these thermal water sprays. These are really, really good for just getting a little bit of moisture onto your face, and it kind of soothes and all that kind of stuff. So regardless of whether you're dry or oily, use that. It's absolutely really good to use. And of course, if you're dehydrated, it's very important to use it. So once I've that done, I usually go in with a serum. So I tend to use products that I may not use every day, on days where you have to have your skin perfect and, you know, really long lasting and stuff like that. So wedding day is really the day to be doing it. I like a serum that's not too heavy, of course, because I'm not too dry. This is the MAC Skin Brightening Serum. Now MAC have just come out with a brand new serum and I really, really like it. It's the Moisture Surge Serum, I think. So that one is really good because, you know, you don't have to be dry to use it. You can be oily. It's more about putting moisture into the skin rather than putting anything too heavy or too rich or a little bit too concentrated onto the skin. I like this brightening one because it does help even out skin tone over time. So I've been using this over time and I'm still going to use it hypothetically if I was to get married in the morning, which I'm not. But so I just apply that. And then you don't really have to wait for your serum to set in before you go ahead and use your moisturizer. So if it were a very sunny day, or I felt like I was going to be outside for any length of time or anything like that, I would definitely put on my sunblock next. This is Vichy Face Emulsion Dry Touch. This is for combination oily skin for me, and it's the 30. I also have the 50 if it was a very, very sunny day. So I'd put this on before the moisturizer. You get more benefit out of your first couple of layers. So if you really want your sunblock to be beneficial, apply it before your moisturizer. This one really soaks into your skin and, you know, it does disappear into the skin. I feel like it's heaping on loads of extra layers, so it's absolutely fine. Then you'll go ahead and use a moisturizer if you want. Something that's quite light and that will absorb into the skin is great. At the moment I'm using this Clinique Moisture Surge Gel quite a lot. I just really like how it just blends into the skin. Keeps my skin really nice and moisturised, but you know, it just disappears again, so it's not kind of feeling like it's adding to loads of layers on the skin. Perfect for what you want in the morning. Again, if you're drier, you maybe need something that's going to be a little richer for the skin. That's up to you to kind of find out before the wedding. Now next, what I definitely do is apply my eye cream, or sometimes I'll apply the eye cream beforehand. It doesn't really matter. So this is the Clinique All About Eyes eye cream. There are some eye creams you can get with sunblock in them, so if you want to go ahead and do that, do by all means. I wouldn't use any eye cream that has any retinol in it just for the day, because it's not the best thing to be used if you are going to be out in the sunlight. It can make your skin a little bit sensitive, and also the sun can break down the retinol. So try and avoid that. Just use something that's really nice and moisturising, or maybe has a bit of a sunblock in it, but be careful not that it doesn't have too high of a sunblock, because you want to be careful about flashback. I always put a little bit of eye cream on my lips. This is a really good tip actually, anyone with dry lips, because I mean, we know that lip conditioners can be lovely and feel really like softening and stuff like that on the lips, but they tend to be thicker, more emollient products. So if you go for something like an eye cream, which will actually sink into the skin, put that on first, and that'll actually penetrate the skin, you know, really go down and almost soften it from slightly underneath. Then you can go ahead with your more emollient lip cream or lip conditioner then straight away afterwards, and that'll help seal in that moisture. So that's a really good tip as well. I forgot to put on my moisturiser, but I'm actually going to put on this Aveeno Positively Radiant moisturiser. So this is a skin brightening moisturiser, and it has a low SPF of 15 in it, so that is absolutely fine for photographs, especially as it's an underlayer, you know, as in, you know, you're going to be putting your foundation and stuff like that on top. So because I'm not using my sunblock, I'm going to assume that it's like a really dull day and I won't be outside for long. I'm just going to use this and just put that all over. And don't forget your neck as well. So this should be something you do every time you moisturise. You should always moisturise your neck. You can see that a lot in some older ladies. You can tell that they really took care of their face skin throughout the years, but maybe not their neck and, you know, their chest area. That can look a lot more aged in the face, especially if they weren't sunblocking it the way they wear their face. So that's something to be wary of as well. As you're getting a little bit older. So lip conditioner I really like is this Neutrogena Immediate Repair Lip Balm. It's just a very intensive lip balm, so I like to put this all over the lips and just leave it sit, you know, and I'll blot it off then later on when I get to the makeup stage. And that has pretty much brought us up to when we would apply our primers or our foundation and all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely leave what you've done to now, so up to your moisturiser, leave that settle into the skin for at least 10 minutes, go off and have your breakfast, or go off and get dressed, or brush your teeth, or whatever you want to do, and then you can come back and start off with your makeup. But the longer you let all this kind of stuff set in and, you know, sink into the skin, the longer you'll get out of any layer you put on top of it. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and film another bridal makeup tutorial for you now, and there will be a few more tips coming up in another video. So hope this was helpful. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll chat to you all really soon. So long, guys.